What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the Voice of NYC TV, where the Voice of NYC, also known as Oh That's TTV, talks about a little bit of this, and we talk about a little bit of that. Now, before we get into the tea of the week, y'all already know the vibes. We have to get into the songs of the week, where we talk about the latest music news and the latest music tunes. Now, let's get into it. Going at number 1, Skywater is one of the most slept on underground artists. His song We Didn't Get the Memo off his EP Pink Print is absolutely fire. Love the Moment for Life sample, and I rock with Sky. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. No matter how different he present, I'm still gonna rock with him because his music is always a vibe. Now let's get into number 2 for the songs of the week. Now going at number 2, What You Say When the Pack Empty? Ain't Got No More, Now I'm Pissed, which is the name of RX Poppy newest tune. And he slid. I've been listening to his music for a hot minute. He make me feel like I'm speeding on the highway.
It's the dub. We just ran out, took it back. Ain't got no more drink, I'm pissed. Down bad, I wear my flop. She get hard, I wear my bitch.
So, even though that's not a thing that you should be feeling like, shout out to RX Poppy and shout out to Skywater, because these are the top tunes that I've really been listening to back and forth, and that is the songs of the week. So let's get into the tea of the week. Now, even though I'm not wearing the right colors for this type of news, as a native New Yorker, y'all already know I got to do what I got to do. The Knicks spanked Boston and sent them home packing. And now we are only one step away from a Knicks championship, a spot that we haven't been in since 2000. Now I know for one thing, I always said that in my lifetime, I want to experience a Knicks championship. Just like I said with New York Liberty. And New York Liberty was able to deliver me a dub and take home a championship. And the way this team is looking, respectfully, it looks like we might be going 2 for 2. But let's get back to the Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks. Y'all did y'all thing and y'all held it down. Because respectfully, when I was at my grandmother's wake, rest in peace to grandma. We'll talk about that later. I remember my dad and my uncle, they kept saying they wanted the Knicks to take this thing home. They wanted to end this, and that they did. So Knicks, I'ma need y'all to do what needs to be done, respectfully. Because if y'all think that what happened after that game was crazy, I wonder what will happen when the Knicks bring New York City a championship. I will have to, by any means, make sure I be there. But by the way things look, they might be celebrating over here too. Now going at number 2 for the tea of the week list, will Diddy be found guilty? Now y'all already know this Diddy case has just begun, and it has released a lot of skeletons from people's closets. One being Cassie's relationship with Diddy. She took the stand and not only revealed that the relationship was drug-fueled, not only was it very rocky because it had its lows and had its highs, literally, but it also revealed that the relationship was highly explicit. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, when you with your girl, you know what I mean? You don't even gotta be gay to know what I'm saying, you feel me? Like, we all been there, you feel me? Like, but it's really crazy to hear the details of all that's been going on. I mean, I'm not saying this from one perspective or the other, but Cassie is pregnant. I can only imagine how much pressure she must feel going up there. And to me, it seems as though, like, the people and the media, they're milking Cassie's pain for a possible dub or for a possible check. And to me, it's really sad to see, because she's not the only person that's being exploited. In my opinion, I feel like the world really loves profiting off of people's pain, and it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, look at the people that were taunting Diddy's kids outside playing Cassie's music. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but last time I checked, she's testifying against Diddy, not his kids. Like, y'all dragging the kids. Now, if this was people that was aware of the abuse and, that was watching and didn't say nothing, okay, that's a different story. But the kids? What does the kids have to do with this? Some people is harassing Cassie's husband. Like, come on, y'all always taking it 100,000 steps further than what it needs to be. Is this about getting justice, or is this about getting your rocks off? Harassing people? Which is it about? I don't know. All in all, you already know how I am. I've been talking about God. I've been talking about how I'm trying to be like Jesus Christ. And I just wish for the best for the people that deserve the best. In Jesus' name, amen. Now for the next topic. These people have been gracing my timeline. Respectfully, DDG and Halle Bailey need to get it together. Yes, I said them both. And here are my reasons why I feel what I feel. The ex-couple had shocked social media when news hit that Halle Bailey was getting a restraining order against DDG. Now, I've spoken about DDG and Halle Bailey in the past. Some people were saying, oh, don't pick him, he's not a good person. Then some people said, oh, he's a good dad. Some people said, oh, I don't rock with Halle Bailey. Oh, she's ugly, she looks like this. I feel like at the end of the day, like, I get it, you're a fan of X, Y, and Z, but that picking side stuff is kind of corny when you're talking about a family that has no choice other than to be around each other for the rest of the child that they made's life. And this is why I say to certain celebrities, when it comes to your personal relationships, stop involving social media. Whether you're a DDG fan or a Halle Bailey fan, making a smear campaign about one or the other is not helping the most important person that is involved with these two. Halo is their child. You don't think when he gets older he's gonna see all this and wonder why people feel X, Y, and Z about his parents? We got one side of supporters saying that DDG is a clown and this, that, and the third, and I do think it's corny that some of the stuff that he's been going through with Halle has taken the internet, but I definitely think that it's just as equal as people talking about that Halle looks like Sid or that she's hit, etc., etc. I feel like you're not a supporter of DDG if you're saying that, because if you're saying that, you're talking about the parent of his child. You feel happy saying that? Like, regardless of all this stuff, like, me as a journalist, I'ma always report on a lot of things, but when it comes to stuff like family, when it comes to stuff like people that are gonna have to spend the rest of their child's life knowing them, knowing each other, I don't support that internet stuff, because at the end of the day, the internet is not like how it used to be. You couldn't start something online and people couldn't find it. No. They got screenshots now, okay? I don't want to see no restraining order. I don't want to see the father not being able to see the child not being able to see the mother. Like, I don't like seeing none of that. I don't support broken families. And a broken family doesn't mean that, oh, the mom and the dad are not together. No, a broken family means that the mom and dad can't coexist. That's what a broken family is to me. And I don't want to see that for little Halo, respectfully. You look at Halo, the boy he knows words, he know how to express himself. He be like, wow, y'all are some good parents. Y'all raising a good kid. I don't want to see this from any one of y'all, respectfully. Y'all made a way so that little boy can live a good life. Y'all had to grind where y'all came from. Don't start that mess. Get back on good terms, figure it out for him. Because the internet don't matter. DDG, because I'm mostly seeing the fans talking on his side. DDG, that stuff don't matter. Them fans, I know they put you in a certain spot, but in this predicament, they don't matter. What matters is you and Halle getting y'all situation together so that y'all can be the best parents to coexist for Halo. Respectfully, that's all I'm gonna say. Now let's get to the next topic. Now, going last on the list, did someone put out a hit on Tory Lanez? Tory Lanez recently found himself in an altercation that ended with him having 14 wounds. Now, some Meg fans or some non-supporters of Tory found themselves celebrating, while others and very popular celebrities had came out in support of Tory Lanez, stating "Free Tory," one of many being Chris Brown, who later found himself to get arrested from an altercation that happened about 2 years ago. Now, here's how I feel, okay? I'm not gonna celebrate someone having 14 wounds and having to fight for their life. Just like I never celebrated someone getting pew 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 in the foot and having to fight for their life as well. I feel like this is also like what I said with the DDG situation, and I feel like a lot of people take real life things and they turn it into things that aren't seen as that important. I mean, we really have people out here that are celebrating Tory Lanez getting 14 wounds in jail. That's a celebration. I didn't celebrate about anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not. And I feel like the internet has desensitized people from learning how to, I don't know what word, to take the higher road. Respectfully. If you don't support him, don't support him. But I just feel like the way the internet moves, it makes you forget that some of these situations are real life situations. It's like they take the serious out of everything. I don't know. All in all, that's really all I have to report. You know, I've taken quite a break. I mean, my last video I haven't made in like 9 days. I had made a video, but it was just gloomy. It wasn't positive, and I feel like my channel deserves way better than that. You know, these past couple days have been a little hard. You know, my great grandmother had passed, and I feel like what makes it hard is that, you know, it's like a trio. You know, when you saw my grandmother, you saw my papa. When you saw my grandma and papa, you saw my grandfather. And, you know, to deal with the fact that all three of them are gone, it was quite hard. So I definitely had to take a break. You know, I'm back at it like a what? Like a crack at it. Like, I ain't gonna say too much. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, like I always say, show love to God. Right now I'm not even gonna pretend and say that everything that I go through is perfect. You know, right now I'm definitely going through some trying times, and I'm going through some times that I don't understand why God puts me through them. But, you know, I just have to trust that Jesus is standing right next to me, you know, hugging me, you know, guiding me to the right direction. And I feel like if you are somebody that's going through something right now, you know, don't be mad at God. But if you find yourself feeling mad, pray about it. Ask God for forgiveness in that moment, but also ask Him to give you strength to go through it. And, you know, to anybody that's grieving right now, I understand your pain, and I'm hanging in there for you. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be on the lookout for the next one, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Thank you.
I couldn't believe it. Soon as I bought my Cuban chain, she called me back. Soon as I iced her on my wrist, she got attached.